Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Phoenix Players Radio Hour. Today, we'll bring you a tale of adventure on the high seas, a beloved tale of pirates, secret maps, buried treasure, and revenge. Treasure Island by Robert Louis Stevenson.
Squire Trelawney and Dr. Livesley have asked me to write down the whole story about Treasure Island, from beginning to end, keeping nothing back. I take up my pen in the year of grace, 1783, and go back to that time 19 years ago, when my mother kept the Admiral Benbow Inn, and the brown old seaman with a saber cut on his cheek first took up his lodging under our roof. I was 14, but I remember him as if it were yesterday.
Jim, there's a man coming up the road. Go and see what he wants.
Yes, Mother. He came plodding in the inn door, his sea chest pushed behind him like a hand barrow. He looked a tall, strong, heavy, nut-brown man, his pigtail falling over his shoulders of his soil blue coat, his hands ragged and scarred, and the saber cropped across one cheek, a dirty, livid white, singing that old sea song.
15 men on the dead man's chest, yo-ho, and a bottle of rum. Yo, open up in there. Now then, boy.
Yes, sir?
What do you call this place?
The Admiral Benbow Inn, sir.
Admiral Benbow, eh? Nice, lonely-looking pleasant city-eyed grog shop. Folks don't come here much, do they, boy?
No, sir. Not many customers to our doors, alas.
No. Well then, it's the bath for me. I've a mind to stay here a bit. Here, you matey. You with the wheelbarrow. Help on my chest.
Aye, aye, Cap.
You too, boy. It's heavy.
Yes, sir.
Call me Captain, boy. Captain.
Yes. Captain.
Just one thing more.
Yes, Captain?
You ain't seen him, have you?
Seen who, Captain?
A seafaring man. You might have seen him somewhere. You can't tell. Let me know if you do, boy.
Yes, sir.
With one leg.
Yes, sir.
Captain!
Oh, yes, Captain.
Bring me a noggin of rum, boy.
We never knew his name. We called him the Captain. All day he wandered on the cliffs with a brass telescope, staring out into the sea. All evening he sat in the corner next to the fire and drank rum. And every day, when he came back from his stroll, he would ask the same question.
Any seafaring men go by today along the road?
No, Captain.
You wouldn't lie to me, would you, Jim?
No, sir.
There's a silver coin for you on the first of every month. If it'll keep your eye open for a seafaring man with one leg. Call me the moment you see him.
A seafaring man with one leg. How it haunted my dreams. On the stormy nights when the wind shook the house and the surf roared, I could see him, the leg cut off at the knee and an evil eye.
You'll keep your eye open, won't you, Jim?
The captain stayed on week after week, month after month.
Never a penny of money, Jim. Not a penny has he paid us since the day he came here. And me, a poor widow woman.
Mother, why don't you ask him for some?
Well, I'll tell you the truth, Jim. I'm afraid to ask him.
In all that time, none of us ever saw him open that great sea chest of his. There were nights when he took a great deal of rum than he should.
15 men on the dead man's chest.
He would force anyone who came to the inn to listen to his stories. Dreadful stories they were. About walking the plank in storms at sea. The wild deeds and places on the Spanish Main. He must have lived his life among some of the wickedest men that God never allowed upon the sea. The captain had been living with us for almost a year, when there occurred the first of many mysterious events. It was one January morning, very early. The captain had sat down on the beach with his telescope under his arm. My mother was upstairs. I was laying on the breakfast table when the parlour door opened and a stranger stepped in.
Hey there, Sonny. Is this table for my mate Bill?
I'm laying this table for the man who stays in the house. We call him the captain.
Well, my mate Bill. He be called the captain, like as not. Now, I'll be guessing that your captain's got a cut on one cheek, eh?
15 on the dead.
Uh-huh.
But of course, save me. There he is now. There's my mate Bill. Bless his old heart. Now, you and me, Sonny, we'll give Bill a little surprise, we will.
Drinking the devil have done for the rest. Yo ho ho and a bottle of rum. 50 men on the dead man's chest. Yo ho.
Hello, Bill. You knows me. You knows an old shipmate, Bill, surely.
Black dog. So you run me down. Well, speak up. What is it?
That's you, Bill. Always right to it, Billy. We'll have a glass of rum and we'll sit down, if you please, and talk like old shipmates. Sit down, Bill. And you, Sonny, get some drink for us.
Yes, sir.
And none of you listening on me, do you hear? Give me the
No,
map.
you never find it.
Give me the map.
No, you'll never find it.
For a while, I could hear nothing but a low gabbing. Suddenly,
No. And it end of it. Here comes a swinging swing hall. Say I. Take that, you blackguard.
I'll skewer your gizzard.
You'll be feeding the fishies.
Ah!
I saw Black Dog, streaming blood running down the road. Presently, the captain returned home, alone.
Jim.
Here, Captain.
Give me some rum.
Captain, are you hurt?
I must get away from here. Get away. That's what.
What's happened, Jim?
It's the captain, Mother. He's wounded.
The captain? Oh, dear me. I've been afraid of something like this ever since he came into the house with that old chest of his.
I got the rum and tried to put it down his throat, but his teeth were tightly shut and his jaws were as strong as iron. An hour later, our friend, Dr. Lucas, came in.
Where is he wounded, Doctor?
Wounded? A fiddlestick's end. No more wounded than you or I. The man's had a stroke.
Where's Black Dog?
Black dog? There is no black dog. You've been drinking rum, man, and you've had a stroke. Now, listen to me. Rum will kill you. If you take even one glass, you'll die, and the world will be rid of a very dirty scoundrel.
About noon the next day, I stopped at the captain's door.
Who is it?
It's me, Jim.
Come in, Jim. Come in.
He was lying, very much as we had left him.
Jim, you know I always been good to ya. Now you see, mate, I'm pretty low and deserted by it all. Jim, you'll bring me a noggin of rum, won't you, matey?
But the doctor...
Doctor, pa! If I don't have a drum or rum rim, Jim, I don't have the horse. Seen him already. Seen old Flint. Dead and buried he is, but I seen him. Jim, I'll give you a golden guinea for a noggin of rum.
When I brought it to him, he seized it greedily and drank it out.
That's better. Now me. Did that doctor say how long I was to lie here?
A week at least.
Thunder! A week! I can't do that. I'd have the black spot on me by then. The thing thereafter. It's in me old sea chest. I was old Flint's first mate, and I'm the only one as knows the place he buried it. He gave it me at Savannah when he lay dying.
What's a black spot, Captain?
A summons from old Flint's crew, and them as gets it, Jim, is lucky when they're dead.
A week went by, and then, about 3 o'clock of a bitter, foggy, frosty afternoon, I saw someone coming along the road. He was plainly blind, for he had tapped before him with a stick. He was hunched, as if with age or weakness, and wore a huge, short-hatted sea coat with a hood.
Kind Christian friends, take pity on a poor blind man who's lost the precious sight of his eyes. Tell me, where I may be now?
You're at the Admiral Benbow Inn.
Will you give me your hand, my kind young friend, and lead me in?
I held out my hand, and in a moment, the horrible, eyeless creature gripped it like a vice.
Now, boy, take me to the cap.
Sir, upon my word, I dare not.
You heard me. Take me in straight.
Yes, sir.
Good. And when I'm in view, say to him, here's a friend for you, Bill Bones. If you don't, I'll twist your arm right around out of your body. Do you hear?
Yes, sir.
Stuff your chatter, damn you. Now, forward march.
Here's a friend for you, Bill Bones.
Now, Bill, sit where you are. Business is business. Hold out your left hand, Bill. Boy, take his left hand by the wrist and bring it near my right. Here's a little bit of paper for you, Bill Bones. Now that's done, I'll be going. Goodbye, Bill.
What time is it, Jim?
It's 10 o'clock.
10 o'clock? 10 o'clock. 6 hours. You and Black Dog and Long John Silver. Oh, few of them. We'll fight.
Captain? 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 Captain! Mother! The captain's dead!
What? Dead? What? In our house? He owes us money, he does. And me, a poor widow.
But, Mother, if Black Dog comes back, or the blind man looking for their share of the booty, they won't be likely to pay his debts.
Oh, Black Dog fiddlesticks. There's something in that old chest of his upstairs that's rightfully mine. And we'll have that chest open if we die for it.
Look, Mother, look! On the floor, close to the dead man's hand, there was a little round of paper, blackened on one side. The black spot! I took it up and read. You have to attend tonight. 4 hours.
Now, Jim, that chest is locked up tight. We must find the key. Perhaps it's around his neck. Tear open his shirt.
There, sure enough, hanging on a bit of string, we found a key. Then, my mother got a candle, and holding each other's hand, we went upstairs to his room.
Give me the key, Jim. Now then. Nothing in here. Not a thing of value, not a penny.
But Mother, look! There at the very bottom lay a bundle, tied up in oilcloth, looking like papers, a canvas bag that gave forth at a touch of the jingle of gold.
Do you see, Jim? I knew we'd find it. But I'll show these rogues that I'm an honest woman. I'll have my due and not a farthing over it. Here, Jim, hold this bag.
The coins were of all countries and sizes, doubloons and guineas, and pieces of 8. As my mother sorted through the coins, I picked up the oilcloth packet. I quickly hid it away in my breast pocket. Mother!
Is it Jim?
Mother, listen! Come, Mother! Mother, take the whole! It's be gone!
No, I'll have my due, Jim, and no more.
But Mother, you had him! It was the blind man!
I know my rights.
No, Mother! You don't say!
Oh dear, I'll take what I have.
Next moment, we were in full retreat towards the village, the scoundrels shouting behind us. Faster, Mother!
Oh, Jim,
Mother! Hurry!
I'm going to faint. Oh,
Mother!
take the money and go on.
Mother! She'd fainted. I managed somehow to drag her down the bank into the shadow of a ditch. A moment later, the house was surrounded.
Bones! Bill Bones! Bill Bones, will you answer me? Down with the door then! In, you lubbers! Loot the house and find it!
Bill's dead!
Hey, Pooh! Bill's dead!
Search him! You drinking lubbers, and the rest of you! Along and get the chest!
Our poor house was pulled apart and smashed. Whatever it was they were after, they did not find it.
Well, is it there?
Nothing!
Jim,
Mother, shh! Are you all right?
what is it, Jim? What are they after?
The map, Mother! Flint's map!
Scatter me, lads!
Hold on, you sneaks! It's in the house! You knows it is!
The signal, Pooh! The signal!
You dogs! Are you giving up now? You'd be as rich as kings if you could find it!
Get out! Out! Make ourselves scarce, boys!
Dirk! Dirk! Black dog!
Scoundrels!
Johnny! Dirk, you won't leave old Pew! Mates! Not old Pew!
Scoundrels!
Black dog! Don't leave old Pew! Ah!
And now, an important word from one of our fine sponsors.
Hey, hon! Kids, it's Friday night, and I was thinking, how about we treat the whole family to dinner out?
Oh, that sounds wonderful, dear. I could use a night off from the kitchen. Yippee! I love eating out!
Me too. Thanks, Dad.
So, where should we go? Hon?
Let me think for a moment.
Ooh, how about the burger barn?
Well, I was thinking of something a little more formal. Not fancy, mind you. Somewhere where we could be waited on and not have to order from the counter.
I say we go to Lettuce Land.
Yuck! You would suggest that. Dad, don't make us to go to a salad place. Please.
That's enough. If you two are going to complain, we can just stay at home and have...
That's it! That's it! I know the perfect place. Let's go To the Leftover Café.
Yay!
Awesome,
Yippee!
yippee,
Awesome!
yay.
That's perfect, dear.
Last one to the cars, a rotten egg.
Yay! Yippee! Awesome!
This family knows for a great evening out, there's no place like Aunt Lottie's Leftover Cafe, located on Historic Highway 178, right next to the local hazardous waste disposal site. The Leftover Cafe is a truly unique dining experience. There are no printed menus, but our courteous and professional staff will help guide you in your dining choices. The Leftover Cafe features cuisine from some of the finest dining establishments in the area. Served piping hot on our trademark Melmac dinner plates. Aunt Lottie's chefs are highly trained. They are experts in combing the neighborhood to find the finest culinary fare for your dining pleasure.
Hey, Joe, smell this.
Oh, chicken marsala.
I think we just found our Friday special.
Yeah. Give me the minute to box that all up.
Hey, I told you guys to stop hanging around the back of the store. Now beat it or I'll call the cops.
We all know that good food always tastes better the next day. And at the Leftover Cafe, that's all we serve. Our staff is so committed to providing your family with the highest quality restaurant fare that they will exhaust every option, no matter how unconventional, to bring you your fancy food at affordable prices.
Hey, lady, you gonna finish that?
Yes, I was.
Nah, you don't want to eat all that. You want to blow up all fat like my Aunt Bertha? Here, let me scrape some of that off your plate.
Hey, you! I told you to get out of here. Now scram! Don't come back.
Why not visit the Leftover Cafe this weekend? You'll be glad you did. And don't forget our week-old leftover specials. They're perfect for entertaining those out-of-town relatives who just happen to drop by.
Hey, Dad, what did you get?
I don't know, but something with noodles, but it sure tastes great.
Aunt Lottie's Leftover Cafe on Highway 178, a truly unique dining experience. And now, back to Treasure Island by Robert Louis Stevenson.
He was stone dead, crushed by horses. The horsemen, as it turned out, were soldiers in pursuit of the pirate band. They took my mother to the neighbor's house. An officer and I went to tell Squire Trelawney about these awful events. We rode hard, all the way till we came to the Squire Trelawney's door.
The squire is supping with tonight with Dr. Livesley.
The officer and I were led into the dining room. The squire rose to meet us, very stately and condescending.
Come in, gentlemen.
Good evening, Squire Trelawney. Good evening, Dr. Livesley.
Good evening to you, friend Jim. Good evening, officer. What brings you here?
Then the officer stood up straight and stiff and told the story. When he finished, all the men in the room eyed me critically.
Well, Hawkins, they attacked the house, you say. Well, what were they after? Bill's money, I suppose.
No, Your Honor. I believe I have the thing in my breast pocket. And to tell you the truth, I should like to put it in safely.
I say, man, you're telling us, Jim, you have the things they were after?
Here it is, sir.
You've heard of this Captain Flint, I suppose, Squire Trelawney?
Heard of him? It was the bloodthirsty buccaneer that sailed. Blackbeard was nothing compared to Flint.
Well, we have here some clue to where Flint buried his treasure. Will that treasure amount to much?
Amount, sir? It will amount to this. I'll fit out a ship in Bristol dock and take you and Hawkins here along, and I'll have that treasure, if I set a year, sir.
Very well. Now, if young Jim is agreeable, we'll open the packet. A map of an island. Tall tree, spyglass, shoulder, bearing a point to the north of northeast. Skeleton Island. The bar silver is the north cache.
Tomorrow I start for Bristol. In 3 weeks' time we'll have a ship, sir, and a choice crew. Hawkins shall come as cabin boy. You, Dr. Livesey, as ship's doctor. I am admiral.
I'll go with you, Squire Trelawney. So will young Jim, and he'll be the credit to the undertaking. There's only one man I'm afraid of.
Who's that? Name the dog, sir.
You, sir, for you cannot hold your tongue.
It was longer than Squire Trelawney imagined ere we were ready for sea. Weeks passed on. Then, one fine day, there came a letter from the Squire, from Bristol.
Dear Dr. Livesey, our ship finally lays at anchor, ready for sea. It was the crew that delayed me, that made the most remarkable stroke of fortune. I was standing on the dock, and with the merest accident, I fell on top with an old salt. He had hobbled down there that morning with a parrot on his shoulder. I engaged him on the spot to be ship's cook. Long John Silver he is called, and has lost a leg. I thought I only found a cook, but it was a crew I discovered. Between Long John Silver and myself, we got together in a few days of company the toughest old salts imaginable.
On the 16th of April, 1764, the schooner Hispaniola set sail from Bristol Harbour. I can remember it as if it were yesterday. Me in my new blue cabin boy's clothes, leaning over the rail, waving goodbye to my mother, doing my best not to cry, for it was the first time I had been away from home. Then, a little bit before noon, Captain Smollett gave an order. The boatswain sounded his point. And the schooner left the dock. Soon, the sail began to draw, and the land to slip away. The Hispaniola began her voyage to Treasure Island. On the second day out, I made the acquaintance of Long John Silver.
Hey there, boy, come in. Come on into Long John's galley.
To tell you the truth, at the very first mention of Long John Silver in the Squire's letter, I had taken a fear in my mind that this might be the very one-legged sailor dreaded by Bill Bones. But one look at him was enough. I had seen Black Dog and Blind Pew, and I knew what a buccaneer looked like. Very different from this pleasant-looking sea cook. His left leg was cut off close to the hip, and under his left shoulder he carried a crutch.
Pieces of eight! Pieces of eight!
Oh, yeah, Mr. Silver, sir?
Yes, me lad, such is me name to be, sir. And your Hawkins, eh? Your first trip to sea, mate?
Yes, sir.
Well, it's a lot of things you're going to learn before this voyage is over. And if there's anything you want to know, Hawkins, you just come on down to old Long John Silver and ask him, see?
Pieces of eight! Pieces of eight!
Here's Captain Flint. I call my pair Captain Flint. Yeah, Captain Flint after the famous buccaneer.
Pieces of eight!
Yeah, aye. She's a powerful old bird, is Captain Flint. 200 years old if she's a day.
Pieces of eight! Pieces of eight! Pieces of eight!
At the end of the third week, we left Mendera behind us. The ship seemed to be a good ship, the seamen capable. There was only one man aboard who was not satisfied, and that was Captain Smollett.
I'll speak plain. I don't like it. I don't like this cruise. I don't like the men. I don't like me officers. That's short and sweet.
But nobody paid much attention to him. Every man on board seemed well content. Double grog was served on the least excuse, and always a barrel of apples standing waist high for anyone to help himself to that fancy.
Never knew good come of it yet. Handing out apples, pah! Spoil the crew and make devils.
But good did come to that apple barrel. It was the last day of our outward voyage. We were coming close to the site of Treasure Island. Just after sundown, when all my work was over, I thought I should like an apple. I ran out on deck. The watch was all forward, looking out for the island. The stock was low, so I'd climb into the apple barrel to get one. But suddenly,
Where should we start?
I heard voices on the deck.
Look here, mates. How long are we gonna stand off and on like blessed choir boys?
Hey,
How long? By the powers, the last moment I can manage. And that's how long. How many brisk lads have we seen trying this Senate execution, Doc? And all for this same Murray. He's a first-rate seaman, Captain Smollett. Sails the bus's ship for us.
We're all seamen aboard, eh?
Oh, Fowkes lines, you mean? I know that sort you are. You're never happy till you're drunk. I don't know where this treasure is, do I? No more do you, says you, and here's a squire and doctor with his map and such. Well, this squire and doctor shall find the treasure for us and help us to get it aboard by the powers. After that,
What do we do with them, Long John Silver? After that...
hey, what do we do with them? Well, what would you think we does with them? Put them ashore like maroons, or cut them down like that much port? Duty is duty, mates. Wait is what I says. When the time comes, why, let her rip.
Away to the southwest of us, Treasure Island. 10 minutes later, we were gathered in the cabin. The squire, doctor, the captain, and myself.
Now, Hawkins, you have something to say. Speak up.
I did as I was bid. I told the whole story of Long John Silver's conversation. Then the squire rose.
Captain Smollett, you were right and I was wrong. I call myself an ass. I await your orders, sir.
this Long John Silver is a remarkable man.
Here's the way I see it. We must go on. Now, what I propose is that we don't wait for them to surprise us, but that we come to blows at our own time and when they least expect it. There must be some faithful hands left. Well, we must find out who they are.
Young Jim here can help us more than anyone. The men are not shy with him, and Jim is a noticing lad.
Hawkins, I put prodigious faith in you.
In the meantime, there were only 7 out of 26 on whom we knew we could rely. And of those 7, I was a boy. So that the grown men on our side were 6 to their 19. Next morning, there was not a breath of air moving, nor sound, but that of the surf, booming half a mile away along the beaches. The heat was sweltering, and the men grumbled fiercely over the work. Mutiny was plain, hung over us like a thundercloud. Around noon, Captain Smollett came up on deck.
Lads, we've had a hot day, and we're all tired and out of sorts. A quick turn ashore hurt nobody, so you can take the gigs, and as many as please may go ashore for the afternoon.
Yeah!
No way!
Hey, wait a minute, man. What's the hurry?
Belay that! Belay that! Belay that!
John Silver suspected a trick. He hopped around the deck on his one leg.
No way! No way!
What's the hurry? Wait a minute, will you, man?
Belay that! Belay that! Belay that!
Soon, the party was organized. 6 fellows were to stay on board, and 13, including Long John Silver, began to embark. Suddenly, I had a mad notion to go ashore too. In a jiffy, I had slipped over the side and curled up in the foresheets of the nearest boat. No one took notice of me. No sooner had we touched the shore than I leaped out and plunged into the nearest thicket. Behind me, I could hear John Silver's voice.
Hey, Jim! Jimmy boy! Hey, Jim!
Long John Silver was quick at his work. 2 faithful members of the crew were murdered on the island that afternoon, only an hour after we landed. The first one I heard. The second killing I saw with my own eyes, from where I lay hidden among the trees.
Well, think hard, mate. Are you with us?
Sure as God sees it, me. I'd sooner lose my hand than turn again my duty.
Mate, for me you're a bullet to the brains.
John Silver, your mate of mine no more. If I die like a dog, I'll die in my duty. You've killed Alan, have ye? Kill me too if you can, but I defies ya.
He started to walk away.
Try this then.
Long John whipped a knife from his belt and sent it hurtling through the air. It struck him in the back and killed him. I didn't wait. I ran as I'd never run before. I ran as I'd never run before. And a madman followed me.
Darby McGraw!
I looked up the side of the hill. Far above me, I saw something leap behind a trunk of a tree. It seemed dark and shaggy. I turned and began to run again. Suddenly, the thing appeared in front of me, and running forward, threw itself on its knees before me and held out its begging hands. Who are you?
I'm poor Ben Gunn, I am. I haven't spoke with a Christian these 3 years. Marooned! 3 years marooned! And I've lived on goats since then, and berries. You might have happened to have a piece of cheese about you now. No? Many's the night I've dreamed of cheese. Toasted mostly. What do you call yourself, mate?
Jim.
Jim. Well now, Jim, you wouldn't think I was rich to look at me, would you now?
Why, no, not in particular.
Ah, well I am, Jim. I'm rich, and you'll bless your stars you was the one that found me first. Woo!
Suddenly, his eye fell on the Hispaniola anchored offshore. Between it and the land was the jolly boat, with 5 men moving towards shore. But I could not tell if they were our men or the mutineers.
Jim, tell me true. That ain't Flint's ship.
It's not Flint's ship. And Flint's dead. There are some of Flint's hands aboard, though. Bad luck for us.
Not a man with one leg?
Long John Silver?
Ooh! If you were sent by Long John, ooh! I'm as good as pork. I know it. I was in Flint's ship with John Silver when old Flint buried the treasure. He and 6 along, 6 strong seamen. They were ashore nigh on a week, and then, one day, here come Flint, by himself in a little boat, and the 6, all dead and buried along with the treasure. How he done it, not a man of us can make out.
I told him the purpose of our voyage and the predicament in which we now found ourselves.
Ooh, that Long John, he's a bad un. Well, you just put your trust in Ben Gunn. Ben Gunn's the man to help you. You tell that to your Squire Trelawney, Jim. Woo! Look at that!
Far off, we saw a Union Jack fluttering in the air above the woods.
There's your friend, sure enough. Long John Silver'd fly the Jolly Roger. That's your friend, sure enough, ashore the old stockade, made years and years ago by Flint. Woo! What's that?
That's the ship's cannon. They're shooting at the stockade. Come on!
Wait a minute! Jim! Wait! Rum wouldn't bring me down there. But remember, Jim, when Ben Gunn is wanted, you knows where to find him.
Aye, Mr. Ben Gunn. I started to run towards the flag.
Hey! Jim!
Yes, sir?
You won't forget that piece of cheese, will you, mate?
No, sir. It was less than a mile to the stockade. It was heavy running. Through the woods. The shooting was getting louder. Suddenly, before me I saw a clearing, and the smoke of muskets fired nearby. Hey there!
Who goes there?
Hey, don't shoot! It's me!
It's Jim! It's Jim!
Jim's back! He's safe! He's back! He's back!
Moments later, I was over the stockade, among my friends, and soon afterwards the firing ceased. The mutineers were saving their powder. The stockade was a good place, with a wall 6 feet high all around us. We could have held it against a regiment. And here, Captain Smoot decided to stay and await our enemy's next move. I told Dr. Listhay and Squire Trelawney about Ben Gunn.
Hey, flag of truce! Flag of truce!
Who's that?
It's Long John Silver. Stop, or we fire!
Flag of truce!
We need lookouts. Dr. Lively, take the north side, if you please.
Yes, sir.
Jim, east. Gray west. Lively men. And be careful. What do you want with your flag of truce?
Captain Long John Silver, sir, come to make terms.
Captain Long John Silver? Why, you black-headed scoundrel alive!
Silence, sir, silence. If you wish to talk to me, you can come, and that's all. If there's any treachery, it'll be on your side, and Lord help you.
That's enough, Cap. A word from you's enough. I know a gentleman.
Stop there.
You ain't gonna let me inside, Captain? It's a cold morning, to be sure, sir. To sit outside on the sand. Oh, there's young Jim. Top of the morning to you, Jim. Why, there you're all together, like an happy family, in a manner of speaking.
If you've anything to say, my man, better say it.
Well, here it is. We want that treasure. And we'll have it. That's our point, Captain Smollett. You have a chart, haven't you?
That's as may be.
Well, you have. I know that. What I mean is, we want your chart. You give us the chart and I'll give you my word of honor. To clap you somewhere safe ashore.
Is that all you have to say?
Every last word, by thunder. Refuse that and all you'll have next is musket balls.
Oh! Very good. Now you'll hear me. If you come up one by one, unarmed, I'll engage to clap you all in irons and take you home to a fair trial in England. You can't find the treasure, you can't sail the ship, and you can't fight us. I stand here and tell you so. It's the last good word you'll get from me.
Ha! Laugh! Laugh, by thunder! Laugh! Before an hour's out, I'll laugh on the other side. Then that lad will be the lucky one.
Ten minutes later, nothing remained of the mutineers but the 5 who had fallen. The attacking party did not come back that night. The next day was stifling hot. After dinner, Dr. Listane sent for me.
Jim, lad, was it cheese you said Ben Gunn had a fancy for?
Yes, sir. Cheese.
Well, Jim, you've seen my snuff box, haven't you? And you never saw me take snuff. The reason being that in my snuff box, I carry a piece of Parmesan cheese. Well, that's for Ben Gunn. Will you see that he gets it, Well, good then, and goodbye, lad.
Then he took up his hat and pistol, girded on his cutlass, put the chart in his pocket, and set off briskly through the trees. That afternoon, a new idea came to me. This was to swim out under the cover of the night, cut the Hispaniola adrift, and let her go ashore where she fancied. The mutineers would, after their repulse of the morning, had nothing near in their hearts than to up anchor and away to sea. This, I thought, would be a fine thing to prevent. It was evening when I reached the east coast of the island. I could see the Hispaniola laying at anchor offshore, and there was the Jolly Roger, the black flag of piracy, flying from a peak. As the last rays of daylight dwindled and disappeared, absolute darkness settled down on Treasure Island. The next night I was back on land. I was proud of myself, and with good reason. I had grounded the Hispaniola, beached her up tidally in the North Inlet, with no harm done, safe from the mutineers. I had no trouble finding the stockade, coming in from the shore, keeping close in the shadow where the darkness was thickest. I crept into the blockhouse. I could see nothing. In the dark, I felt for a place to lie down.
Pieces of 8! Pieces of 8! Pieces of 8!
Who goes? Matrix Dark. Wow. Shiver me timbers. Young Jim Hawkins dropped in like quite a pleasant surprise for poor old John. I always wanted you to join my camp and take your share and die a gentleman. And now, my cock, here ye be.
Where are my friends?
Now, what do you think, my son?
Have you killed them?
What do you think?
Well, I'm not such a fool, but I know pretty well what I have to expect. But there's a thing or two I have to tell you. And the first is, here you are in a bad way. Ship lost, treasure lost, men lost. And if you want to know who did it, It was I! It was I in the apple barrel of the night we sighted land. And I heard you, John, and you, Dirk Johnson, and Hans. It was at the bottom of the sea. And I told every word you said before the hour was out. And as for the schooner, it was I who cut her cable. And it was I who brought her where you'll never see her more. Not one of you. I know more fear than a feared fly.
I'll put out of to that. And there goes your sneaking son of a skunk.
Avast there!
Kill him!
Kill the devil!
Do it, man.
Did any of you gentlemen want to have it out with me? By thunder, you'll obey. I like that boy now. What I say is this. Let me see him, and I'll lay a hand on the lad. That's what I say, and you'll answer to my saber. Well, you're all hot for action, so here. I was waiting to show you this. And what does it look like, lads? A chart! Yeah! That's what it is. A chart! A chart to this island. Old Flint's chart. Yeah! What do you say to that? Yeah!
That was the end of the night's business. Only, much later, I woke up suddenly and felt someone beside me.
Jim, young Jim, it's me, boy.
Yes? Long John?
I saved a life for you tonight, Jim. Now you and me stick close, Jim. Talking of trouble, Jim? Why do those friends of yours leave that chart behind when they cleared it out of here? Came in here this morning and found the place empty. And the chart lying there on the table where I couldn't miss it. There's something strange here. Don't know if it'll be good or bad.
Next morning, we set out after the treasure.
Tall tree, spy-ass shoulder, bearing a point to the north or northeast. Skeleton Island,
Hey,
east southeast,
over here.
and by east, tiny east.
Come quick.
At the foot of the pine, half covered with green creeper, a human skeleton lay on the ground.
A skeleton? Behold!
We're getting close. It's a player. This is one of old Frank's jokes, and no mistake. Alone he killed him, hasn't he? And this one he hauled up here and laid down as a compass. Yes.
Listen.
15 men on a dead man's chest.
Do you hear what I hear?
Yo ho ho!
That's Flint's ghost! Begad! Oh, Flint!
The R.B. McGraw!
Oh, Lord.
The R.B. McGraw! Fetch after rum!
That's was last words.
Darby McGraw!
Oh, Flint's last words!
Oh, Lord.
Shipmates, there's 750,000 pounds, not a quarter of a mile from here. Since when did any steel come? I've heard of a whole noise.
But lay here, John. Can't you cross the spirit?
Spirit? Well, maybe. You know whose voice that was? It was like her, somebody else's. It was like her. By the powers, been gone.
Why?
Aye. So it were. Ben Gunners were.
Why? Nobody minds Ben gone. They're alive. Nobody minds him.
Spyglass shoulder, bearing a point to the northeast. Skeleton Island, southeast by east, 10 feet.
Hey, mates. Here's the tall tree.
Before us was a great ditch. In this was the shaft of a pick, broken in two, and the boards of several packing cases strewn around, all branded with the name Walrus, the name of Flint's ship. The treasure had been found and taken. The 700 pounds were gone.
We've been jiggered.
No gold, nothing.
Here never was such an overturn in this world. For each of these pirates it was though he had been struck. But with Long John Silver, the blow passed almost instantly. He kept his head, found his temper, and changed his plan before the others had time to realize the disappointment.
Jim, take this pistol and stand by for trouble.
Fists full of sand. That's your 700,000 pounds, is it? You wooden-headed lubber.
Dig away, boys. You'll find some oysters, and I shouldn't wonder.
Oysters? Mates, do you hear that?
Hey,
I'll tell you now. That man knew it there all along. Look at the face of him. You see it all right there.
Mary, playing at being the captain again? You're a pushing lad, to be sure.
Mates, there's two of them alone there. One's the old cripple that brought us all here and blundered us down to this. The other's that boy that I mean to have the heart of. Now, mates.
Mary raising his arm and his voice, and plainly meant to lead a charge. But then, before you could wink, Long John fired 2 barrels of pistol into the angry man. Mary tumbled head foremost into the stand. Long John Silver stood over him, his pistol still smoking.
Well, Mary, my lad, I reckon I sold you.
At the same moment, shouts were heard above our heads. It was Ben Gunn, Dr. Lively, and the Squire Trelawney. The doctor's plan had worked. The pirates had fallen into a trap.
forward, lads.
As quickly as it started, the battle was over. Long John Silver dropped his pistol and raised his hands into the air.
Right kindly of you to stop by, Doctor. You came in about a nick, I guess, for me and Hawkins. And so it's you, Ben Gunn. Well, you're a nice one to be sure.
I'm Ben Gunn, I am. And how do, Mr. Long John Silver, I'm guessing? You'll be wondering where I hid your treasure?
Ben, to think it was you who done me in.
John Silver, you're a prodigious villain and an impostor. Sir, your crimes hang around your neck like millstones. But you saved this boy's life, and I'll mention that at your trial.
Thank you kindly, sir.
It took us 3 days to move the treasure from Ben Gunn's cave to the ship. On the 8th day of December, the Hispaniola reached Bristol. 5 men, only whose had sailed, returned with her. Well, that was 19 years ago. All of us had had an ample share of treasure, and used it wisely or foolishly, according to our natures. Captain Smollett is now retired from the sea. As for Ben Gunn, he lived a hearty life, eating nothing but cheese. Long John Silver vanished on a voyage one night off the coast of Mexico, and we heard no more of him. Sometimes I dream of Treasure Island, the worst dreams. The ever I have are when I heard the surf booming about the coast, or start upright in bed, with the sharp voice of Captain Flint still ringing in my ears.
Ah! Pieces of 8! Pieces of 8! Pieces of 8!
You have have just heard Red Room Redux's adaptation of Treasure Island by Robert Louis Stevenson, performed by the Phoenix Players, Roland Garrett, Sean Byler, Roman Alanese, Emilia Keys, and myself, John Fowkes, with added music by Penny Fowkes. Aunt Lottie's Leftover Café commercial written by Donald A. Reesner Jr. and Treasure Island, a radio play written by Ruth Giordano, are used with permission of the writers. Both royalty-free plays are part of a fantastic collection of plays for kids and teens on Drama Notebook. www.dramanotebook.com. This has been a production put on by Oak Harbor School District's HomeConnection.